Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and this one, as you can tell from the title, is about pretty much just detoxifying your life and kind of just learning to spend some time with yourself and just pushing away all of social media, all of technology, and just spending some good old quality time with you. And I think that this is good to do daily and weekly. I think everyone should have some sort of routine for themselves that they do, even if it's like 30 minutes a day. You know, you don't have to necessarily do this every day. It's up to you, depending on like work and school and stuff, because obviously I'm a college student, so I know that it gets like very stressful, but that's kind of why I feel like you should do this even more. So I'm just gonna give you some basic tips. All of these things, of course, I do, and I absolutely love doing them. I try to do something like it 30 minutes a day, but then of course at the end of the week I have a spa day, which just pretty much just focuses on me and cleansing me and getting my surroundings all together. But for the most part, these are my top 5 tips for detoxifying my environment, my surroundings, me spiritually. So let's get right into it. My tip number 1 would be to keep yourself very organized, and that might not just be with your personal self. It can just be with work and school. A lot of the times we procrastinate and we let things slip behind, and then that lack of organization causes us to get even more stressed on top of all the things that we have to deal with. And you know, it's like cliche to say get organized and do all this stuff, but you know, like sometimes we have like a really good week. It's usually because we have organized and we've planned ahead for certain things, so we're not like, you know, so caught off guard. And it's the caught off guard feeling that makes us feel like we don't have things together. So I would say to keep organized. Now, of course, I'm a college student and I work, so what I love is my tablet. I have just a Samsung tablet. It's, you know, it's not a Mac, so it's not crazy expensive. Now, you don't have to have a tablet. It could be just a notepad, but for me personally, I love my tablet, and I can write anything personal to work, to my schedule, to what I have to do for my classes. It has a calendar. You know, you can put so many apps on it to remind you. I'm more likely to look at my tablet first thing in the morning than I am my phone. So I pretty much keep everything in there, and that's just personally how I like to stay organized. Now, as far as my personal life, what I like to do is I have a vision board right behind, above my desk, and it's, you know, a vision board can be anything for anyone depending on what you want to do and all that stuff, but for me, I like to write down both my YouTube things and things that I want to do in the future and all that stuff. One of the movies that I recommend, and it's here on YouTube, is called The Secret, and one of the books that I actually just finished reading that was so highly recommended to me was called The Alchemist, and it's just one of those movies and one of those books that every time you watch it, there's a new lesson in it, because you know, you grow and you mature and you learn new things. And so it talks all about the vision board and just how to basically speak things into existence and talk about what it is that you actually want. And for me, that's the perfect way to keep organized with my personal life. So I definitely recommend get yourself a notebook. You know, use your phone. You can use your phone. Excuse me, you can use your phone too, you can use your tablet or whatever it is, but in whatever, and you have your little vision board. So for your personal life, because I prefer to keep those separate, like I don't want to just have it in one book. The basis of all of that is just to say to keep organized, because it's going to keep you from getting overwhelmed. We most likely feel a lot more overwhelmed when we can't really see what's going to happen next, because we're so caught off guard because we didn't plan. You know, obviously you can't tell the future, but if you can kind of have some kind of plan in place for the next day or whatever, or just next week, or you know, some kind of thing like that, you're less likely to feel overwhelmed. And so getting organized is a super important way to detoxify, so that you're not overbuilding or overloading yourself with that stress and that anxiety. So get organized is basically what I'm trying to say. My step number 2 is once you are actually organized, you want to make sure once you have everything written down and you have some kind of plan in place, turn off all of your technology. And I know that sounds cliche too, but of course, I think everybody at this point knows how addicted we can be to our phones and to all kinds of technology, social media and all that stuff. Make sure that you turn off your technology so you can really focus. And technology and social media and all that stuff can be very, very distracting. And so it's important just to shut everything down for a second, just to breathe, get away from all of that, because your eyes, the LED lights, or I think that's what they're called behind laptops and phones and all that stuff, is trained to keep you awake and switch your mind to thinking that it is actually daytime. And that's why we're able to stay up for many hours at night on our phone, because of that bright light. So you want to turn all of that off and just make sure that your eyes get a chance, if not every day, then at the end of the week, to kind of detox that away. So turn off your technology and give yourself a chance to truly relax and tune into you, because if your mind is not on social media, that's kind of what you want. You don't want your mind to be in social media. You want it to focus and get used to going elsewhere, and that's going to help you to think more about you and what you need to do, whether it be personal goals or whatever it is. So just make sure that you turn off your technology at some point, just so that it can help you. So just turn everything off. My tip number 3 would be to get some kind of aromatherapy candles or some kind of spa stuff, like whether it be a bath bomb or some kind of lotion or something of that nature that's gonna just kind of make you feel a lot more at home. Like for me, I love the smell of vanilla. I don't know, it's just something warm and inviting about vanilla that just makes me feel more at home. So, but I do have there's one over there. I love the smell of desserts and foods and all of that stuff in my room. So I have a crazy candle collection, and I love collecting that kind of stuff. And I absolutely love to light my candles during my spa day, spa night, or whatever it is. So in this case, that my little detox time, I love to light my candles. Make sure you have something like that. Yeah, I think it really helps just to kind of get your mind away from stress and just kind of help you to just further detoxify. So I like to have my candles, and I like to have those cupcake or cake smelling or just warm smelling scents in my room. So try to invest in an aromatherapy candle. I just recently went to, because I used to go to Bath and Body, and then I went to Target because they were cheaper and they have more of a variety of certain things that I like. And then I just went to Kirkland's, and they have an amazing variety. And I know you might not find Kirkland's everywhere, but I'm pretty sure you can order it online. They have an amazing collection of baked goods candles, and they're like $7.50. Sometimes you can get it for like $5.50, which I know they're having a sale right now because I just went there the other day. But just you can find a cheap candle, and even if it doesn't have a smell, you can get those little candles from the dollar store, and you can just light them. You can get a couple of them and light them and turn all the lights off, just so that it sets a mood, because that's what you're going for. You just want to feel a little bit more relaxed. So if you can't, because I feel like we've all been there where you can't even afford that. I'm a college student, so I know how that feels. Just get the little tiny one that's really about setting the mood and making you feel, more of one way. So definitely try to invest in some of those, and I'm pretty sure that's going to help you to just relax. My tip number 4 would be to declutter your space. For me personally, I know that when my room is a mess, my life is probably a mess. When I can come home and come into a room that's so clean, it makes me feel more organized. It just makes me feel a little bit more put together when everything's clean, which is why for me, before I go into I consider it a part of my spa day, but before I really go into washing my hair and doing my nails and all that stuff and putting on a mask, I like to make sure that everything is clean. I like to do laundry first. I like to clean the bathroom, clean my room, change the sheets, vacuum, and do all of that stuff before I even get into the face mask and all that stuff, just because I feel like it has to be. First of all, I'm a little OCD with my cleaning, but I just need to feel like my area is decluttered. So, organize your desk, put on a set of new sheets, vacuum, do whatever it is you feel you have to do, but I definitely feel like cleaning your area and getting that all organized is definitely going to help you to feel a little bit better, even if you can't go in and do the face mask and all that stuff. It's just going to help when your surroundings, especially for me, I strongly feel that way. When my surroundings are a little bit more organized, I start to feel a little bit better. So go ahead and take the time and just kind of declutter and get rid of old things that you really don't need and you know you don't need, and it's time to throw things away or whatnot. Just get rid of all that stuff and it'll help you feel a little bit more new. And for my tip number 5 was going to be to get lots of sleep, which of course, I feel like you get into the habit of doing all of those things that I said 1 through 4, it'll be a lot easier to get more sleep. We always stay up on our phones, we always are on some kind of technology late at night, and it's unfortunately it's common and it's something we're used to, but of course it's going to take some time to, you know, retrain ourselves to get out of that habit. But I feel like what I try to do for me personally, because I know that I was like one of those people who sleep till 3 a.m. I mean, don't go to sleep until 3 a.m. What I've started to try to do, and it works, is to get up earlier. I'll get up at like 7, and then I won't take a nap, because if I take a nap in the day, in the middle of the day, I'm not going to fall asleep like, you know, 10 o'clock or whatever. I'm gonna fall asleep a lot later, and then of course I won't fall asleep by 10 o'clock. I'll fall asleep like 3 o'clock in the morning. So what I started to do was, of course, wake up 7, 8 or whatever, and make sure I don't take a nap, just for me, because it doesn't work. And that way I can go to sleep around 10 o'clock and not have to be extremely tired, because we all have a habit of falling asleep extremely late, only running on 3 to 6 hours of sleep, even if you know, even 6 at that sounds a lot. We really have a really bad habit, and when your body really needs rest. You know, it's one of the things that we take for granted. Your body works best when you're asleep, because it doesn't have to give you the rest of the energy so that you can move and think throughout the rest of the day. So we have a really bad habit of not allowing ourselves to rest, and it's so important, and it's gonna help and change the way that you work in the day and the way you think, because it clears your mind. You now have enough energy because you got 8-9 hours of sleep. You have enough energy to do all the things that you want to accomplish in the day. So it's so important, and we take it for granted how much sleep we can actually get. So that would be my 5th tip, would be to get a lot of sleep. Now, diet and exercise, of course, is like another topic. That's gonna help too, but for the most part, we do need to allow our bodies to really rest. So those are my 5 tips on how to detoxify, and I hope that helps, and I hope, you know, I really think it's important for each of us to kind of get that time to ourselves where we're able to do those things, because then you get to focus more on you and think about you personally and what you want to do, and it clears your mind. So I hope that helps, and I want to know what are some of the things that you do to detoxify. Do you have, you know, a playlist? I just thought of that. I probably would have added that. I love Pandora. I just usually let Pandora play, but do you have a playlist? Do you create one? What are some of the things that you do to detoxify? So let me know in the comment section, and subscribe if you have not already, and I'll see you guys in another video.